Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And yeah, I also publish on Rumble and I'm on the social special on Twitter. I was looking here 5 months ago, my last update in December. If you see the update, it's basically kind of the same thing still. Not much happening here, that's why I didn't make any channel update ever since. But yeah, let's get going for the news. We got some... I'm sorry, it's a little bit late, got a busy day, but we got some interesting news. RX 7600 confirmed by retailer, at least this is like a Photoshop from a retailer somewhere in Asia. It's like undisclosed location, like a top secret location. It's not on sale, this is just for storage purposes, so they are preparing the stock for when the sale comes up. Supposedly will come by the end of this month. A day after the 4060 Ti or non-Ti. I know we have the next news regarding its again the 4060, but yeah, we got some kind of it's not confirmation, but at least the kind of the specs of the GPU. It's going to be a low-end GPU either way. There is some rumors that it's going to be around 250, which is a very decent price for this lower end, because it's going to be aiming for a 1080p card. Even though only 8 gigabytes, it's kind of enough to play 1080p games and to do all the things that supposedly goes around at this price point. I think it's a very good deal if it comes at this price or below. This is already like an AIB, it's not a reference card, but still, if this maintains this information, I think it's a very good price for the product that it is. We got some things here. They're talking about regarding the 4060 Ti. We talked yesterday, and the fact that supposedly has a 16 gigabytes variant. Regarding that, we got also some 4070 Ti variant to feature the AD103 GPU. No GPUs from NVIDIA are currently using this board. This SKU here, and of course this is a rumor, but supposedly this leaker usually gets around things quite correctly usually. The fact that, if not mistaken, the 4070, it's the 104, I think, I'm not sure. Let me see here. Yeah, it's the 104, the 4070, and the 4070 Ti is also an A104. That's interesting. The 103, it's not being used by even like the 4080. The 4080 is 102, which is kind of odd, taking in consideration the GPUs they launch. Supposedly this one had to be basically disabled like almost half the board to serve the purposes of performance of 4070. That's why it's a mess, this generation of GPU launches. It's very weird how they try to go about it this way, which is, as you can see, supposedly it's like 40% of the GPU, at least the board had to be disabled to get the kind of similar performance to be considered a 4070. I don't know what kind of more information we can get out of it, because the CUDA cores supposedly are going to be the same, RT cores the same, the base clock and boost clocks supposedly should be the same. 12 gigabytes, not good, especially the memory bus, it's awful, and of course the memory speed, it's terrible. I don't know what to tell you. This GPU should be at least 16 gigabytes and basically double the bandwidth here. The same thing with the 4070 Ti, should at least have like a 256, same as the previous generation, and if maintain the boost clocks, they would have like a very excellent GPU. And of course, if the price of these GPUs were a little like a nudge lower, it will be selling like hotcakes. But these guys just think everybody has money hiding from them, or that the gamers owe them money for something. It's even not even the L2 cache going to save it, because if you have a pipeline, a pipe that is so strangled, and even if you have a big bucket and a big deposit, which is kind of the comparison I tried to make, if you have a small pipe, there's so much water, which in this case, that's so much information that can pass through and then stay on the buffer of the memory, of the VRAM quantity. So that's why everybody, some people modded some Brazilian guys modded the 3070. I'm not sure if the 70 Ti or non-Ti. They modded with 16 gigabytes and they get a huge amount of boost on performance, because the memory bus and the memory speed allow them to have these gains with more memory, because the pipe was kind of larger, and so it can accept more information at once. The limitation was basically the VRAM, and in this case they changed it around, so they put it, okay, we're going to put a little bit more VRAM, but we're going to shorten the diameter of the pipe of the information. So I don't understand this, guys, and I'm not an engineer, but everybody can tell you this if they have like a little bit of knowledge how GPUs work. That the main things that they guide them through, of course, is the CUDA cores, of course the L and L2 and L3 cache. It's very important, but the information has to go through the memory to be stored there and then processed by the CUDA cores and everything, and the RT cores. If the pipeline of information is strangled or limited in some way, you can have all the L cache and the CUDA cores and the frequencies up like 1000%. It will not get the performance needed if you don't have like the memory basically strangleholding or delimiting the performance of the GPU. But this is a rumor. Let's get through another thing, which is like supposedly the RTX 4060 is going to launch 3 SKUs. There is not. It's not good enough just 1 or 2 per SKU. You have to have lots of them. Again, I spoke yesterday with the 16 gigabytes thing. We got the same issue regarding the memory bus and the memory bandwidth. You're not going to see basically any kind of performance jump here. The 4060, if it's not in, I think from what I can gather, the 4060 is going to be similar to the 7600 in kinds of performance, give or take, from what I understood. But yeah, if it doesn't go for the same price, this is going to be a disaster for the low end on the NVIDIA. And if these guys maintain 250, give or take, because they can make it, and of course we have the thing of the 4060 is going to be manufactured in previous generation boards, which is kind of they are saving money in every way they can, and then just up pricing everybody. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. By the end of the month, for sure, we have some reviews and some sales. I always advise you to wait for reviews. Don't just pre-order or something like that. Always wait for independent reviews. Don't trust these big guys medias that usually, like, for example, I don't know, IGNs and everything. They are good reference points to see how the mainstream kind of thing is. But always pick up a reviewer. I always trust always in this kind of reviews, Hardware Unbox, Gamers Nexus, to a certain degree, when it does in a timely manner, usually J2 Cents also does a good reviews. They are always consumer focused on every product they review. They are not there to try to suck up with the corporations. They are very consumer oriented, and usually that's the 3 main ones, or at least the 2 main ones that I always guide my recommendations regarding hardware. But yeah, for hardware, this is it. Let's get going for some games. Got System Shock Remake is officially gold. Supposedly it's going to be released by the end of this month. That's why May it's a very busy. We got a lot of some showcases and everything. By the end of this month, it's going to be a very busy summer, especially after the COVID stuff and everything. So gotta keep our pace going. The minimum and recommended requirements are very, very low. Even like it's only 2 gigabytes of space, so it's a very small game. It's a remake of a very old game to a certain degree, so the specs are not that high. Like Intel, I don't know, Series 3 and the FX. So basically any CPU, any computer can run this thing, and also with the graphics settings here, only 8 gigabytes of system memory and 4 gigabytes kind of on the GPU side. So basically, if we have like a 1000 series or even like a RX, like the 5000 series, I think almost anything will run on this thing. But yeah, it seems that it's going to be a good launch. I just hope that the game lives up to at least kind of the same when the original was launched. We got some interesting rumors here for Bloodborne. Supposedly there's a leaker, Jave, this person here that was the creator of Twisted Metal and the original God of War series, David Jave. Supposedly it's kind of rumored that Sony is making, because this IP doesn't belong to From Software, but it was From Software that made the game, but this is not the owner of the IP. The Sony is the owner of this IP, and supposedly they might be working on a PC, on a PS5 remaster and or PC version or both. If it is one or either, it will be great. I always found From Software games very good, and this one is like a little bit more action-packed. So there is no there is basically only parry and attack. The defense, there is no shields, no nothing. So it's a different mechanic. And if it comes to PC, I think we'll how From Software is at this moment, it will sell like hotcakes, this game. But yeah, we'll need to see. I think they are rumoring that on the PlayStation Showcase on the 25th also, I think they might announce something like this, or in the other Summer Games Fest or something like that. I don't know. Supposedly the Remake will get like 50 FPS. At least that's what they are aiming for. We don't know. We got a video here with the conversation, around the 53 minutes mark on this live stream. I didn't see this live stream, but it seems very good news. If any of this happens, the remaster for the PS5 or the PC version, it's always good to have excellent games. If it has to be remastered, at least a very, very decent game, and kind of upscaling quality to a certain degree, and for FPS also for the latest generation of consoles and PCs. And again, we got Ubisoft is in trouble. They are delaying games left and right. And again, supposedly Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is like the kind of relaunch of the Assassin's Creed again, I think it's been internally delayed. This is again like rumors, but we don't know yet. If it does, it's a shame, because I like the first early Assassin's Creed, especially the Ezio trilogy. I found it very interesting, the overarching story, and it's a shame that they left out the part of the outer world, so not the Animus world, but they dropped the ball on that. It's a shame. I think it was leading to a decent place there, but yeah, it got killed like from one game to another. But yeah, the Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a very excellent game. I like it, that game also, but the outside story was not that good. And we got here that Hollow Knight Silksong also was delayed. They put it to be determined, so it's after June of this year. We don't know. I presume that they delayed this one for quality. They are not a match of the quality, because the first game, it has extremely positive reviews and it's very well adored by all players that play this game, and they like this kind of Metroidvania kind of style with some kind of Souls-likely combat here, and the story seems very, very interesting. I never played this game, but all over, if anybody plays this game, I only heard good things about it. But it's been delayed, the sequel. We shall see how it goes. And for wrapping up, I'm going to I have only 2 games here, not much happening. I think by the end of this week we have more things to cover regarding gaming deals. We got here below it's kind of mostly positive. It's around 70% of positive reviews. It's got some quirks here. I read some reviews here. They like the combat and everything, but there are some mechanics that could be refined. I'm not going to tell you which ones of them are, because it's a little bit spoilery. But yeah, the game itself, the story, I think it's very well told by environment. But there is kind of survival elements. I think it's the most kind of oddity there, how they managed to go about it. But the rest, it's a very solid game for all intents and purposes. Some hard combat and some environmental story there. And the last one here, it's Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. Very positive reviewed game. Never paid too much attention to it because usually all these comic book games have been like a bust, especially the Avengers one. But I think this one has a pretty decent story, and the gameplay it's also very good. And it's 70% off, so $18. It's a good value for the game that it is. And I'm going to wrap up for today, guys, with my GoGetFundMe, as usual, for me to upgrade my PC to get better, more content for my private clients, and of course in my free spare time continue to do the gaming news stuff, also do some deep dives with some scripted content, and resuming my gameplay series, and in the future try to get started some live streams here and there. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, Kunamy Master out.